hopefully, first of all, clap to everyone in the NHS. Hopefully, this is now going live to my YouTube channel. Not too sure. Let's have a look on my phone. We should be live. We've got one waiting, so maybe there's some like little intro thing that's having to go on. I'm totally unprofessional at this. Right, it looks like I'm here. It looks like I'm here. We've got 2 people watching. So if you're watching, please write in the comments. This, after last night's live stream, we're going to have a proper go because I did kind of fuck it up last night with the sound. And we're going to be doing live from lockdown on a daily basis. 8 o'clock starting in the weekdays. It might be a different time come the weekend. We've got all our safety measures on. So we've got Sega Zombie in the house. Game Boys are awesome. Kieran, hello to you both. And to feature with, we're going to be having 2 guests on each night, hopefully, maybe more, but 2 to start with. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my first guest, and that is Big Mike. Say hello, Big Mike.
Hey, you all right, Dana? How is it? Hello to everyone watching. I'm Big Mike without further Petro, and these are crazy times.
So, Mike,
times are hard.
We used to be on the TR.
We're not on the champagne tonight. Times are hard.
Is that an Aldi special? Is that Aldi special? Is it that?
Yeah. See if I can. Hey, there we go.
Have yourself
first drink since revival.
Is that your first drink since revival? Obviously, Mike and myself used to be on the TRL back in the day. We got KD's in the chat. And we've also got another guest tonight. He may be the most bizarre man in gaming. And I'll add him to the chat now. And this is Variety Face. AKA Elton John.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Old School Variety Face, baby. And it's been a while, but we're here on Dana's channel. Thanks for the invite.
No worries.
Yeah. I can't see any chat, though. I suppose I've got to go on to my phone or something, right, Dane?
No, I've got some chat. We got.
I can't see it scrolling up and shit, though.
Oh, have you not got the chat on the side? I've got chat anyway, so I can manage that. We got 7 people watching, so we're all having a beer tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, got the ball.
I'm not. I'm not, man.
You're the only one. You used to always drink on the TIL, and you're the only one not drinking tonight.
On the Vive Cola, Aldi special.
He's on the roller cola.
It's the best.
Like 24p.
I think it's about 39 pence. It's all right, man.
You got to going in the chat, but go and get a drink.
I know, but the reason is, see, Michael, I thought I'm always fucking the one making a total cunt to myself. Last time we did a live stream, I pulled 2 moonies, you know, and I'll do that sober.
Thank you.
Oh, dear.
What I want to do
that was a stream I went on.
Is pull my pants down and then fart. That would just be epic. I'm desperate for it, baby.
So, in all seriousness, how are we all coping with being locked in our house? I mean, Old School, you can't go any more mental than you are already.
It just makes no pissing difference to me, mate. It's just the fucking same. In fact, just the same but nicer weather. You know, it's beautiful, man. Thank fuck I've got a garden. You know what I'm saying? Hello there, Cyber Snake. How you doing, Jay?
Hey, you're right, Jay.
If it weren't for the weather, man, it would be just awful.
You got to protect. See, what is I'm drinking Copperberg, and that's from Sweden, innit? And like they've got quite a fucking corona outbreak, so I'm just protecting myself.
Isn't it quite ironic that, you know, all the weather we've had this year, and the moment we've got to stay in, the sun comes out. You know?
The thing is,
garden, I spend loads of time in the garden.
This is the beauty of not living in a flat, Mike. You know, I feel really thankful that I've got a garden. I can actually grow flowers and fucking herbs and my own vegetables when it all goes tits up. Then I can start peddling them on the street. Who are you praying to?
Me?
Dana,
It's because
yeah, you just give me some.
No, I was trying not to stick the finger up to the stepson because no one's fucking spoke to me all day, right? They've all been doing their own shit. No, when I start talking to someone else, they come fucking asking me questions. And I'm like, I don't care. Just fuck off. Leave me do what I'm doing.
Remember, people, that's how you speak to your children. Swear at them. It's the only way forward.
Toughen them up a bit. Well,
fucking teachers. I've gone to apply for a job. He only left school on Friday. Fuck it.
Fair play to you, Dan. Fair play to you. If they're not your own kids, does that mean you can beat them?
Kind of.
Just, really kind of. Oh, that's all right,
I wouldn't know, Darren. You can use these for whatever you like, mate.
Isn't he any good at mixing up then?
Any what?
I was going to say, I always wanted to be an abusive stepfather.
Good at making pasta?
You fucking pass through me. I was just trying to make a fucking little anecdotal piss take joke there about saying it would be marvelous to be a stepfather, and be able to just knock your fucking stepkids about. That would be really good, wouldn't it?
It goes in all the films, doesn't it?
It does. I wouldn't. It's not really. I'm only joking. Jesus Christ.
What are you talking about? You make believe friend again? There, are you old school?
Well, I've never had any friends. I've got no family. I've got nothing. Oh, right, there we go. Oh, there we are.
Who's it?
This stupid lockdown goes fast, and the virus gets resolved, so I can chill out with my family and my friends and close family. Yeah, I can't even visit my mom hospital, so that's locked down at the moment. I had to go and drop some stuff off outside the ward for today, and fucking buzz the buzzer and run off and say, take this to my mom. But that's the sort of shit we got going on. But then you got fucking idiots who are just hanging around on the street still, ain't you? Because they think it's a fucking...
It was sort of hanging out outside mine a couple of nights ago, the kids in cars and all that. But,
How's the Aldi watch going anyway? Because if you didn't know, Big Mike gives us in WhatsApp our daily Aldi watch because he can see it from his window. The
daily updates on the Aldi situation. They did have a so many in and so many out policy today with people standing 6 feet apart. But there is the stock is getting better on the shelves though. So there is toilet rolls and there is meats. So it's looking up.
Toilet roll and meats. Peddling. You know what? I really wish I was peddling the good stuff, but really, it's like rosemary, thyme, marjoram. I'm an incredibly boring bastard. Honest to God, I'm the most boring fucker in the world. I actually really enjoy horticulture. I'm not kidding.
Fucking hell. That's too complicated for you to fucking grow anyway, isn't it, Pete? You have to look after it and be committed.
Well, yeah, you kind of do with any kind of horticulture, but with growing indoors and hydroponics and all this kind of thing, it's a completely different. I did read a book on it once, how to grow skunk, and it just seemed fucking complicated. And there was people I knew that had it in weed dens and things like this. And yeah, they were pretty smart people, really, with the cycles and all the rest of it.
See, I know a guy who used to do it. He lives in a flat, and he used to do it in his fucking airing cupboard. He got a little fucking build at the bottom of his airing cupboard, growing stuff in there. But the fucking the water flow and shit like that he was doing, because it's to speed up the growing process and stuff like that, isn't it? So,
yeah, it gets complicated, and especially when you start doing hybrids and taking, I don't know if it's roots or whatever from here, there, and everywhere, and coming up with all this cheese and I haven't smoked weed in fucking years, man.
Well, I was talking about tomatoes. I was.
Oh yes, that was it. Tomatoes. Nobody cares about weed anymore, though. It's not controversial, is it? When we were kids, it's all, now you can walk across the bloody road with a spliff in hand, right next to the copper. They don't care. They'll probably say, "Give us a tote, blood." You know what I'm saying?
Apparently, Cinny Steve reckons you wrote the book, mate.
I wish you know what? If it was still controversial, I'd still be smoking it. I only do things that you're not supposed to do. And now I'm a hyper traditionalist, you see. So I used to be
Only shootings and drive-bys will do, like.
Oh no, traditionalist as in, go to church, eat meat and potatoes, don't watch pornography, that kind of real interesting stuff.
So if if you only do stuff you're not supposed to, does that mean you're going out for 2 walks at the moment today?
Yeah.
He's living life on the edge, yeah.
Watch the fuzz, though, come and crack you down. In fact, I had today, because I know you two aren't on Facebook, I had a thing come up and it took this post down because it was going around as fake news, and it actually wouldn't let me click and watch on it, but it would let me click to say why it was fake news. It was a video of people were saying it was the Italians arresting people for coming out of lockdown. But the fact of the matter is, they said, no, this video is the Brazilian police arresting some Brazilian with a knife from like fucking 3 years ago. So at least Facebook is doing something good to try and stop the scam. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is really serious, but there is a lot of Sharon down the road's a fucking expert, don't take fucking ibuprofen or something, you know what I mean? Every 5 minutes, that's all what's being fucking posted on Facebook.
Oh, that's another thing. This
we know GCSEs fucking telling everyone what to do.
That's what I mean. It does need to be taken seriously. And I'll admit, I probably want one of the ones to take it serious enough initially. I'm sort of middle of the road now, but there is a lot of hypochondriacs as well going absolutely mental over like the smallest of things,
Here we go. We've got a fan, Boothy ALX.
Oh, just like, imagine those YouTubers who are like uber celebrities and they actually refer to their audience as fucking fans. They're the most pompous cunts I've ever fucking known. The Last Gamer does that. We can get back into it.
I wondered how you were going to leave
for watching that.
Leave The Last Gamer into this conversation.
We're going to fucking crowbar that bitch right in, I'm telling you.
I was going to get him in at some point, because for those you don't know, Old School has a tiny little obsession with The Last Gamer. So I am going to hand the floor over.
Oh, hang on.
No. You're the one who... Look, mate, I'm in your WhatsApp group. I know what gets said. I know the constant post. So come on. Air your grievance. What do you think, man? Do you think he's calling everyone?
Well, all it is, there's a few things. There's a couple of channels that are kind of trolling him at the minute. One in particular out of Denmark. And he's uncovered quite a lot of things that, shedding light on reality, if you like. It's a good one, man. I don't watch it. I think all it is about The Last Gamer is it started a while ago. I just think he's got a certain arrogance to him. This is just my opinion. And whenever I'd said that to anyone, like Big Mike, he'd say, no, Last Gamer's great. He's one of my favourites. Whenever I go, Last Gamer's fucking thing, Mike's here going, you're the best. Last Gamer, Snyder for you. And all this.
I tell you what, I think it's his tone of voice. Now he talks like an Australian Lloyd Grossman. Like, he talks like this, doesn't he? It might more be the way his tone carries what he's saying, sort of thing. I'll be honest, I don't watch. I know you lot all watch. My idea of a YouTuber is someone who I can interact with, and I just call me arse with him, to be honest. But
I mean, the thing for me is like, there's people dying of forest fires out where he's to and everything, and koalas are going to be extinct or something, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Because they're running out of trees to eat and stuff because they're all burning down. And he's obviously quite well off, and he's got no electrics. You know what I mean? There's people dying, but everyone's giving him money, and he's got millions in assets. I would say definitely. When you look at the Ferraris and all the other sort of cars and things he's got, I mean, he's got like 9 PS4 Pros, hasn't he, or something like that. Now, admittedly, I own one PS4 Pro and I do own an Xbox One X. But, the average man doesn't own 9 of the same console just because it's a different variant or, you know what I mean? So I think, especially in times like that, there's people that need like the NHS need funding at the moment, don't they? The NHS is going to be at strain from what's going on in the UK at the moment, or all the hospital services all around the world, and there's certainly people that could sort of manage without people's donations, from the average Joes, like we're doing a lot better than the average Joe.
I mean, I don't mind him owning whatever he owns or however he's earned his money and however he spent it.
Agreed.
What I don't fucking agree with is if I had thousands of pounds worth of fucking stuff and not having it insured or on your insurance, like I rent this house. This is a council house I rent, but I do have housing contents insurance on it because although the house isn't mine, all the shit in it is. And I've got this games collection declared in it because although I probably won't get the monetary value of it, I will get at least a percentage. And that's just me who lives in, like, you know, he's got a massive house with a massive collection and he's got no insurance. Come on, man. Are you a fucking idiot?
Even I've got insurance. I think I'm underinsured, but I do actually have home insurance. So, you know, I'm sure we all do. And we don't have millions of pounds worth of stuff as far as I'm aware, like, you know, but, you know, it's just crazy. And it's happened to him 2 times or something, and he still didn't get house insurance, and something's happened to him again.
Well, you've changed your tune, ain't you, Mike? Because every time I see you, I love you, mate. You're one of my favourites.
Due to the situation, so
yeah,
it wasn't fire damage he had, was it? It wasn't lightning hit his house.
You know what they say, lightning never strikes twice. Well, apparently it did with his house.
Cuts in word and edgeways, motherfucker. For fuck's sake, man!
Sorry, I was asking you, Pete. I was just answering Rusty's comment. It was didn't lightning hit his twice,
bitch. Right. Okay, Mike. I respect your opinion. I agree with you. You've seen the light. All it is, and the only issue I have with him is I could see that he was a bit of a narcissist years ago. He is who he is, but just be honest about it. If you're a narcissist or whatever, however you are in life, just be real. Just say, okay, if I was wealthy, I'd own that shit. I'd say, fuck, I'm wealthy. Be wealthy. If you want to be wealthy, be wealthy. Act wealthy. But the thing is about him, he's constantly said now, I'm not a rich person. Well, okay, might not be as rich as a Saudi prince who's dripping in oil, but you are much richer than the average man on the street. You're a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, and you set up a GoFundMe, but not through you. And everything he does, you just got to watch that tech and whatever his name is, that Danish guy who's kind of a troll account. I don't agree with everything he's done, but he's brought a lot of out to the, I don't know what I'm talking about now, but yeah. So I just keep looking at you and you.
This is quite an important one, and I actually discussed this the other day on Kieran Game Boys Are Awesome's. He did a similar sort of stream sort of thing. I've heard this loads about the Gebs, and in fact, I've seen screenshots of the messages. Now, don't get me wrong, she's got a lot of followers. But what I will say is I've never heard anyone who I know in the community say they like her and or they watch her channel. So what fucking right has she got to advertise anyone's store? Because all the proper gamers, they don't need fucking her sat on a video telling them to get to certain stalls. They know anyway because they're at the event, especially someone like Sore Thumbs. I don't know. I think it's fucking wrong. She just try not exploit fucking money out of people.
For my opinion, as a sort of person who goes to a few of the gaming markets and things, I've been quite a few over the years. As long as you're decent with the stall owners and you don't try and bribe them or whatever, like, you know, or give me this game cheap and I'll give you an ad or whatever. As long as you're decent and you treat people, you get to know who's who and what's what, and they'll sort you out a good deal anyway. If you're decent, they're decent to you. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be untoward about things, do you? You know.
What do you reckon, Old School? Because I mean, obviously, you used to frequent the events when I first started selling them, and you used to pick up a lot. Did you find? I find as a vendor, I always give a good deal, and when I buy from other vendors, I always feel like I get a good deal. I mean, she demands something like 15% off of her. I get better than that sometimes, and I don't even ask for it. If you know what I mean.
I've always had better off you, Dana, and the likes of Nick at Vintage Gamer. I've got one anecdotal tale about the Gebs. I don't enjoy a program. However, what I will say is she did enlighten me on a couple of shops in the Nottinghamshire area, and I'd used a bit of a video once, but I've hardly watched any videos. That was quite good, that one, and it was a shop in Kirkby and one in somewhere else now. I've forgotten, but it's on the. Kirby. And it's on the channel from a couple of years ago. It might be Allington or Alveston, some place like this. But fucking yeah, John Shop's the one in. Yes, that's right. That's not in Kirby. Anyway, what I will say is that there's a chap in Derby who runs Retro World. Do you know of it, Dana?
Yeah, I know Retro World.
I spoke to you about it before, Mike, as well. In fact, I might have done a spin around somewhere. He's all right. His name's Rob, and they've always been cool enough for me. They're nice enough people. But she did a video, absolutely cut into shreds and really fucking being awful about this market stall, and it could have really affected their business. And when I actually spoke to him about it briefly, Rob, and he said, well, what she wanted to do, now this is only what he told me, was that she came in and she had some kind of blog out there. I haven't seen it. It's, I don't know, some kind of presence on the internet.
Juicy Gamer or something like that, it's called, isn't it?
There you go. Okay, so you know more than I. And anyway, she kind of threatened him with, I'll say a threat, thinly veiled threat. Would you like to advertise? And in return, I want like a ridiculous discount on some of your games. Anyway, he declined, and she did a whole video, sort of running the whole shop down and their business down, and she got quite personal. I thought that was fucking well unnecessary. That these are people trying to earn a living, and it's just
it's considering like about 2 weeks ago, someone made a post on one of the Facebook groups saying who's the most annoying YouTuber and why is it the Gebs. Now, she took massive offence for that and appeared in the chat comments. But yeah, it's okay for her to do a video that goes to potentially 36,000 subscribers, slating a business that could affect their business. Now, to me, that's fucking hypocritical, massively. I personally have very little dealings with her. I see her swanning around at events, and that's fucking more than enough for me. I don't watch her content, because if I want to play Call of Duty, I'll turn on my own fucking PlayStation, you know what I mean? But to slag off any trader or vendor when she's never experienced doing it herself, and purely because they wouldn't give her a discount, is utter bullshit, if you ask me. Utter bullshit.
To be honest, the one thing I'll say is the one thing that she got in her favour is she is a gamer. She does enjoy her games. But if she's a retro gamer, I will say one thing about her setup, and it's not a CRT in sight.
Do any of you two watch this Retro Era podcast? I'm not a big fan of podcasts, if I'm honest. I like to have a visual like we're doing now. I do find podcasts hard to watch.
Yeah, I don't really do the old podcast thing.
I used to listen to it early on. Now this is going back. If truth be told, my kind of retro, what I watch now in retro is really limited. But at one point, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, I used to watch everything, and I was quite into the Retro Hour podcast because they'd have various developers on, and they seemed to get the sort of the big names. I found it pretty interesting from Dan's side because he's an Amiga guy, and Ravi. Now, when I've met them at Nottingham, and I thought they were fucking nice blokes. They were really fucking sad. They didn't buy anything off my stall, mind you. So I don't like them that much. I think I might have called them stingy bastards, but I had a chat with them. And Ravi really knows his shit when it comes to like music on the Amiga 1200. They are very professional in their approach, and I don't know. I think they do know. They certainly know more than me. I don't know.
They are big on the Amiga scene, aren't they? Those two,
the
they
Amiga
are like
scene, yeah. I would say
I've watched quite a lot of the guy's videos. I've watched quite a lot of his YouTube videos.
I would say it was more about the technical side as opposed to the games. One of them does the DJ set on the two Amigas, doesn't he? Yeah,
I've seen that guy, but that's like literally all I've seen is that he does the DJ sets on the two Amigas. We have got an interesting comment. It's from Griffo's Retro Games. Not so much who it's about, but you know, this idea of people buying subs and doing sub for sub seems to be a lot of it about still. Like I see a fair few channels they got over 1,000 subs, but yet they struggle to get a couple of hundred views. Now, to me, what are they actually gaining? Because what they make monetary wise, if they done it to just monetize, is going to be pence. You know, I can't see the. You know, it's almost like creating a false audience. You know, I like to think all my subscribers have come from doing videos, etc.
I'd say it's a bit embarrassing, you know, because if you got like 600 plus subscribers and then you're only getting like 30 or 40 views, it speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Big Mike paid me to sub. Is this true, Michael?
I'll be asking for a refund, silly Steve.
What's your views on this paying for subs like Old School? So, you know, we know a few channels. We don't need to name names of everyone because some of them are very inoffensive in the community. But as Mike said, it is a little bit of an embarrassing thing to do. He's fucked. We've lost him. Technical difficulties. We've lost Old School. He's got a spare headset. He's going to come out now with a fucking megaphone, isn't he? What I'd probably move. He's back. Fucking hell. He had one job to fucking sort out a headset. What I would say, like, you know, with this buying subs, as you say, they seem to be channels who can't gain any traction, you know, maybe it's through their personality, maybe it's because they're just doing one-dimensional stuff, or maybe because they're not putting themselves out there. I find the best way to gain subs is put yourself out there on the tubes, to be honest. Have we got anything?
Yeah,
is he back?
I just think, is he back?
No sound yet. What the fuck? See, this is why we stopped doing it before. We couldn't fucking get
subs. Why YouTube brought in minutes required to get monetized. Right,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because like you'll watch some channels, like it's meant to be a gaming channel, and then you got fucking Claire's hairdressing comment on it, or fucking Sarah's fucking makeups.
You bitch. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Do you have anything to say? Is the question.
Well, sorry guys, I missed all that. I got these need a little bit of charge in them. These Turtle Beach ones. I don't know why.
All fucking day. Just saying.
But can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about sub for
Can you hear this?
Yeah,
that was poor. I can taste the crisps from earlier on. I had a massive bag of Doritos, just and a jacket potato with chilies, cheese, tuna fish, sweet corn, and loads of garlic. So I've got this Dorito and like tuna fish mix going on. It really stinks in here. Yeah, the jebs and that. Yeah, crap.
Sub for sub. That's what we're talking about. People
sub for sub.
Yeah, like people who pay for subs, like because I have heard you can like join certain groups, pay a fee, and then they all subscribe to your channel to make you look more popular than you are. What do you reckon? You know, we know a few channels. We're not going to mention names, but do you think it's a little bit sad? A lot sad?
I think you've got to look at the intentions of these people. Why are they doing it? Are they doing it for A, a laugh, B, to become famous, or C, somewhere in between, or perhaps just to share the knowledge? I don't know. I mean, there's some really bit like, let's take, for example, the 8-bit guy. Now, I like the 8-bit guy, and he's got all the, he's grown his channel organically, but I wonder if he ever thought to himself, I could get a few more subs, get on there, make this my job and pay for them. So I don't know. I mean, it's like in any business. Sometimes you've got to take. Look at Dylan now. I know you're talking about. Yeah, I think when you're small fry and you're not doing a proper show, if you like. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's right at all, but I do think there might be situations where it perhaps might be useful if you're on that sort of threshold.
But the thing is, them subs are only useful if they then give you any minutes watching.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably buy that as well, can't you?
I don't know. I don't know how that works because, like, there's obviously some people who just sub and then don't watch any minutes. You might as well not have their subscription if you're looking at it from that view. I'd rather have 90% of my subscribers commenting and messaging in the chat because
Yeah.
the whole communication was all for me. You know, I wouldn't. You know, if you get 10,000 subs, then it's going to get fucking impossible to have that sort of intimacy with your subscribers. And people, I class my subscribers more as mates because most of the people I talk to over YouTube, I have met in person, sort of thing, or I intend to meet most of them.
I totally agree with you, but let's take PewDiePie, for example, and he gets, I don't know, like 10 million hits per video, but he's got, I don't know, a preposterous amount of subscribers. So I wonder how many he's bought over the years just to get up there. You know, when him and that whatever they're called, T-Power or some shit, some Indian Bhangra YouTube channel that we're going to tip him, wasn't he? And anyway, I bet you he bought some. I bet you he bought some. Went on the dark web. And it wouldn't even be him. It would be his manager or the people beneath him because he is a business, isn't he? So I think it can serve a purpose, but not for anyone in our scene. Anyone.
It's so irritating. I don't know if people watch him.
I've never watched a PewDiePie video in my life.
Then again, a lot of people like don't they? So.
He don't play retro games, I don't think so. I have no fucking interest in him.
Neither do I, but I'm aware of him, if anything. Get me you've got 1,000 subs, haven't you? You must have, Jay. You've been at it for years.
Yeah, over 1,000. Oh, does he mean an extra 1,000? Just showing off now, isn't he?
Oh, an extra 1,000. I was trying to. I think you could go on the dark web and just go and buy them somewhere on some kind of version of Silk Road 2.0 or 3.0, and it would be really cheap. I bet you could get 500 subs for a bit of Bitcoin. You know, 1 Bitcoin. I'm not sure what Bitcoin's worth, but you know what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's quite big on Twitter. There's like Twitter groups that you join, and it's like, sub my channel, I'll sub yours, sort of thing. It's like one big jerk circle. But I think once money gets involved, a lot amount, it possibly corrupts a lot of YouTube. I mean, I was saying last night, I know obviously you watch my stream, and I'll stand by that. If anyone is paying anyone a Patreon in the current climate we're in, fucking cancel it. Just cancel it, because one, these fuckers can still work and they can be bringing in more money anyway because they've got a massive audience at the moment while everyone's sat at home. And two, there's nothing stopping them doing any work because they've got fucking loads of time because I'm definitely staying at home now. They've got months of footage for videos anyway. And a few of them earn thousands of pounds more than through this Patreon than what fucking the people who are subscribing them are earning. So if you pay anyone a Patreon, I'm begging you now, go and fucking cancel it. I don't know how you feel, old school, but that's certainly fucking how I feel massively strongly about it.
I mean, if you're asking for my opinion, Dane, it's developed over the years. I used to be dead against it. However, having said that, now, who are we to say what anyone's to like? It's kind of like this. I don't pay for a BBC TV license. I absolutely think they're...
Nor should you.
In every single way. I could go on for the next 2 hours about why I absolutely fucking despise the BBC. However, I won't. But what I will say is that it's anybody else's right to be able to enjoy the bullshit programming. So it's their right to be able to pay for the TV license if they want to. So I've got a slightly nuanced view. I think...
okay, if I put it out there, right. So say like me, you're paying 15 quid for Netflix. Netflix guarantees that I will have programming to watch that month. Now, some of these YouTubers do one video a month for a lot more money than that. You know what I'm saying? So, are you getting your money's worth? Say if you're a patron, right, who's paying, I don't know, say $10.
I'll answer that. Okay. It all depends on what you value, isn't it? So I'm looking at this from both angles, really. If you value that, let's take, for example, Bithead. He might do 3 videos a week. Sort of, let's say...
Bithead's a worker. I will give Bithead this. Bithead's a grafter. I'm talking the ones who put out one video.
He's still a Patreon user, and that's what keeps him going. Now, there's other people in different... You know, gaming is just a very small part of the... what are you on there? That looks nice.
It's rhubarb, lemon, and mint cider.
Oh,
Quite
lovely.
nice,
Yeah, rhubarb. Nice. I've got a bit growing in the back garden. If you've got, like, say, Bithead, he's got a
We're back
culty
in rhubarb.
audience. If people, like, I've got Netflix, and I can be quite honest that I haven't watched anything on there for months. Nothing. I mean, I'm very particular about what I want to watch because it's got to immediately grab me, or I'm just not frigging interested. I've seen too much
We
content.
will talk about Netflix in a bit. 'Cause I've got a couple of good films that you should watch, but
Right.
we're just currently discussing Patreon, Mike, obviously, while he was out the room. I'm saying everyone should be cancelling their Patreon currently. And I'm also saying that people aren't getting value for money.
Hard times. Do cancel your Patreons,
Yeah.
give it to the NHS, help the country through what it's going through. And if they want to reinstate it after these hard times, then they can do,
Also, what I will say is Netflix doesn't cry in a video and then get more money, whereas people who have Patreon are known to do this and manipulate and go up from
earnings
I think it was
up,
£1,800 to £4,000 a month.
Earnings went up a third from
3,000
to 4,000 a month, didn't it?
It was 1,200 up to £4,000. That was 18 months from one video crying, and then that person didn't do any more content for over 4 weeks. So are those people who are paying £4,000 getting money's worth for one video a fucking month? And it was someone crying. I'm calling fucking massive manipulation.
Well, I haven't actually finished my point on all this, which was a bit drawn out, admittedly, but it's like this. It all depends on what you value. So I think Netflix is, I will appreciate some recommendations there, Dana, because I think a lot of it's a load of crap. But let's take Bithead, for example. There are people out there who would prefer to give him some money so he carries on. Yes, he's a business. Yes, he's in it for the money, without a doubt. Let's not lose sight of that. He never used to be, but once the money gets involved, it changes people fine. But the reality is that these people want to pay him. They feel like they're getting literally value for money. So if you're going to spend 2.5 hours watching Bithead per week instead of watching Netflix, that's down to the individual. Now, so that goes for Patreon. That's my opinion. However, there are, without a doubt, people that are manipulating these fucking fat bastard nerds sitting there, wanking their tiny little fucking cocks off, right? Their little fucking flappy bits of skin in the wind because it's some slag with a fucking pair of knockers out. I get it. And they can manipulate them and then flirt with them on Twitter and whatever other bloody Snapchat and all this shit. I get it. And that is manipulation. But if you're too thick to see that it's manipulation, then fucking more fool you. Get an IQ transplant, you spastic.
What I will say is Cinny Steve says not to put everyone in the same basket or something along those lines. There are some good ones. I've yet to see anyone who's worthy of me giving them a penny on Patreon on YouTube.
You know what, though, Dane? Sorry, Dane, I've interrupted you. Carry on. Go on.
No, carry on. I was just going to say
I agree.
The same thing
I wouldn't pay for any. However, I must admit, even though I think he's a shill, I find Bithead extremely entertaining. So when a video comes on, and there's other people in different genres that I watch, and I've even done super chats just to interact with them because I find them compelling in whatever, just because they might be talking about different things. I'm not just into retro game. You could be into any topic, and they're a very good and interesting folk out there. And then there's people for the layman. Although I do understand where you're coming from, Dana, and I do agree that there's a lot of manipulation. And actually taking the piss aside and, shouldn't be calling people spastics. It's better to call them retards because that's more accurate. But the truth is, you can't fucking tell people, can you? Like everybody thought the last game of Joel, whoa, what a great bloke Joel is. No, he's a fucking cunt. He's a shill as well. But people are blind. And it's up to them. I'm sick of fucking saying it now. Bollocks to it. Just, let people believe what they fucking want. As long as you've got your own mind.
I just think I've not seen anyone worthy of me parting with my money on YouTube for a start. But also, I don't know if it's just in the retro gaming, because that's what I mostly watch. they seem to fucking beg for it more as well and mention it more. Now I watch other stuff.
I agree with that.
I'm weird, you know, when people read scary tales and shit like that. I put that on at night to go to sleep to. Now every one of them has a Patreon, but not a single person. If you just do what I did and put the headphones in and listen to them, you wouldn't know they had a Patreon if you didn't watch the screen, because they don't ever mention it. It's literally just a link at the end of the channel, you know. Whereas fucking when people seem to do it in the gaming community, it seems to get mentioned. And I'm not talking about people who've said it once, because if you're going to set it up, you've got to mention it. And Bithead started doing it regular when he first started, and I think he felt he was getting no traction, so he stopped. And he's probably more likely to get more people subscribed if you don't shove it down the throat. But then there's others who say at the beginning of every video, the end of every video, they thank every person who's donated. I'm like, come on, man, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel. Mike, I know you give loads. I mean, you fucking, if it's a female and she's on YouTube, I know you fucking paying that Patreon.
I've never once donated to anyone's Patreon at all, ever. That's 100% truth. Like you say, none of them are worth. Not really. I mean, Bithead 1000. I enjoy his channel, and I do own an official Bithead 1000 T-shirt. But I'm probably.
I don't mind merch. You gain something for your money.
It fucking ended. It cost me about 50 quid because I got fucking stung on taxes bringing it into the UK from America. It cost me almost the same in taxes as what it cost me to fucking buy it. But other than that, like, you know, Bithead, you enjoy his videos since he's become since he's had the Patreon and that. I feel his videos are a little bit more forced because he's putting more out. So you know, whereas every video would be good, I'd say 2.5 out of 3 generally now are good. Some of it's a bit forced and a bit, you know, not as good as what it used to be. But he's still like Old School says, like most of his videos are 10 times better than what anyone else is putting out. So, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? You know. But then again, he was doing YouTube for 8 years before he went with the Patreon, wasn't he? So that's a lot of time in lieu, isn't it?
This is an interesting one. Now, I have a little bit of information on this one. Cine Steve has said the Retro Man Cave is a good one. Now, this is someone I heard once he got to £2,000 a month, he hid how much he was earning, which you can do on Patreon, and I have much more respect for anyone who doesn't hide what they're earning. He hid it because he said once everyone saw that he was getting £2,000 a month, he stopped getting any more. Now, to me, that's manipulative. I don't know how you feel.
I'd agree with that. Like, not being funny, I do like the guy's channel as well. I do enjoy his content, and he does actually do, I would say, almost a TV quality show, or like, you know, not far under. He does do a pretty good show, but like you say, if he's getting $2,000 a month and then he stopped getting,
and he's getting all that stuff that he's work on a lot of the time donated.
Oh yeah. Well, I do enjoy I do enjoy his content, but I don't pay him a penny. And that is, I think, if you're going to do these things, have it all up there for people to see. Do you know what I mean? And that way people can decide, can't they?
I'll agree with what Gernaldinho says, though. I think it is down to greed. No, I don't show everyone what I earn, Steve, but I'm also doing it by delivering a service and actually a job, not just doing videos on YouTube.
Sorry, Dane. I was going to sort of throw my 2 pence in here. I understand where Steve's coming from, in a way. To these people, they're offering, okay, it is a free service. Yes, there's an element of manipulation, but some people don't manipulate. Some people are doing. You could look at any YouTube channel with a Patreon and suggest there might be some kind of manipulation there by just slightly advertising it. I don't know. I can sort of see where Steve's coming from. Having said that,
he doesn't force it down your throat, does he?
What?
He doesn't force it down your throat, that guy. But like,
I don't watch him. I've no interest in him. Is he the geography teacher? with the patches.
He's the one with the crates, yeah, the one with the
yeah.
crates
I think it's a bullshit show. I'm not into him. I think he's crap. If I'm being honest with you, I don't find him in any way, shape, or form entertaining or fucking informative. Quite frankly, I think he's fucking boring, like a lot of people. Anyway, that's just my view. But I wouldn't stop someone if they wanted for them to, if they wanted to support his Patreon, it's up to them. But what I will say, it is very sneaky, and it's a very Levantine way of doing business, isn't it? You know, let's just fucking not show everybody what we're earning. But then again, like Steve says, I can see his point of view. You don't always have to do that either, do you? You know, I don't show everybody what I'm earning, but there is a sneakiness to it. It does take away from the whole original idea of YouTube, which was broadcast yourself for a bit of fun. And we've moved so far away from that now. Hang on. We've moved so far away from that now that it's become something else. It's become a commodity. And a lot of people take the piss. And I completely understand both sides. I really do. That's me getting it from both angles. And I think in some ways you're right, Dana. More so, I'm more on your side, Dana, of course I am. But I still get it from this point of view, like Steve's saying.
What I'd say is, like, if he hit $2,000...
All I was going to say, I'm a pro Bithead channel, but to be the voice of democracy, I don't know if we can look now and see whether Bithead declares what he gets. Because if we're going to give,
I don't know.
Give one person the treatment, we need to give it to all without being biased.
I'll have a look.
I will say this, right? Usually, the people who are not earning a fat lot will declare what they're earning, and then they get to a certain amount, and they see that the donations slow up, and then they hide them. So to me, that means they think they're worth more than that. Say if someone's do you really think someone who's making a fucking YouTube channel is worth $4,000 a month? Anyone? No. I don't. No. I'm not fucking seeing a video out here. $2,000 a month?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Pushing it. Not for one video a week or whatever they're putting out, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, have a look, mate. Can you share that? Should we try this?
Yeah, we should be able to. What's that?
What we got?
140. It's Bitheads, is it?
That's Bitheads.
So he's hid what he's earning.
He's hid what he's earning then. So we've got to hold him to rights like everyone else.
And there you go.
Say on average, right? Say on average, the middle ground there is a $5, innit? So what's 5 times? You know, you're talking £1,200, just over.
It is dollars, in all fairness.
$1,200.
So that's like £1,000 a month.
Plus, he's still working. And to be fair to Bithead, he does videos like every other day.
He's got 2 jobs, apparently, hasn't he?
I don't know. I don't watch. I watch him in the background, if I'm honest. I'm not that up to him.
To be honest, this is the point, isn't it? This is the point. So he says. He might be, he might not be. But the point is, once you start holding anyone to account, like you said there, Dana, you have to hold everyone to account. So this is where, like the Last Gamer, for example, now who used to go on Radical Rick's channel as his mate. Oh yeah, I hate these shills, but actually he's completely hypocritical and's kind of playing a very similar game. Then you know where I think the distinction is us guys who aren't on Patreon, let's say, and the ones that are. And I know there's people.
I would never be on Patreon.
And I know there's people using it in the right way and in a more sort of distinguished way and decent way. And there's those that are manipulating it. But to be honest, once you start putting money into it, like Tootie's always said, once you put money into anything, it poisons the fucking chalice, man. And you know, everyone's going to get infected, aren't they?
So yeah, I don't agree that anyone can get that money for football.
What I would say, right, is say your average Premiership footballer, like it's your creme de la creme in it, that's earning that. Man United, say someone at Man United. How many people watch Man United every week? Worldwide on telly. You're talking millions of people. That works out to less than fucking 20p.
It's be me.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you worked that out per viewer, you're talking pence. Whereas when you're looking at some idiot who's making a fucking average video on YouTube, they're getting more for their buck than what that footballer is. A footballer is drawing more views.
I'd say a footballer has a lot more skill than someone doing especially
this way, knowing what I know, to be a top Premiership level player, and I only know what it takes to become a semi-professional player, like watching the kids I've developed, the amount 5%? Of hours and commitments. Well, it's not even 1%; it's 0.01 make it to the Prem. But the amount of hours and commitment that they put in, it couldn't fucking making a video and editing it, and a lot more commitment. Yeah. And they probably won't.
We had some real good players in our school when we were in school. In the juniors, we came second in the Walkers Cup. We lost at Wembley, and a few of my friends were pretty good, and we had some guys who had. And they were phenomenal. One of my mates, I know, he ended up a semi-pro, and he was phenomenal, like, you know. But he only ended up semi-pro, which is still something to do, like, you know what I mean. Still quite hard to achieve. So imagine what it takes to get to the top levels, like, you know. It's like you say, it's a lot of skill involved in it, like, you know.
It is, but everyone always has a cheap shot at a footballer, right? But for everyone that's making fucking hundreds of thousands of pounds, there's some kid who breaks his fucking leg in the under-19s and never fucking gets to make it. It's easy to have a shot at a footballer, but they're usually all retired by 35, and you don't see them all on the telly. You only see a small select few.
My mate had his jaw broken. He played against one of the rougher teams of Bristol, and no one wanted to play this certain position. So my mate was like, he didn't know. So yeah, I'll play, like, you know. So he's run,
and they pay more tax than anyone.
You know what?
He took the ball past this guy, and this guy said to him, "Oh, if you do that again, I'll break your jaw." And my mate was like, "Yeah, F off," like, you know. And he run past him. Next time, he just fucking, my mate woke up and fucking A&E, like, you know. Crazy.
Cool story, bro. Anyway, what I was gonna say. Sorry, Mike. Fucking hell. All I'm saying is my only thing I'll say on this is this: any form of entertainment, whether it be sports, music, media, okay, YouTube, there's always going to be poor quality. So when I was in music, I still do music myself. I look at, say, Britney Spears and whatever, and I think, fucking hell, she can't bloody sing a note or whatever. Okay, that's not the best example. There's much worse performers than Britney Spears, but you know what I'm getting at here. And people choose to buy that. But then there's, like, much better artists out there. So it's all down to what people are prepared to pay for.
You've been tapping up Britney Spears since she's in the Disney Club anyway, isn't it? That's how it all works.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, there's all that agenda going on as well. But still, I
refuse to accept YouTube as a trade. It's not. People ask me
if you are paying tax, and some of these big guys, for example, PewDiePie, I mean, he's got to be up there. Maybe, I don't know. But would you say that maybe? Yeah, I would actually. Thinking about it, he's got to be Premiership football level, maybe above, for what he's paying. I'd say right above. He's probably up there with the creme de la creme. I mean, his earnings, you've just got to go on whatever website it is, not the Sunday Times Rich List, but you know what I'm trying to say. Some kind of website, look at what his earnings are and what kind of tax is he paying. You know, and he lives in Britain, so he'll be paying tax to the British government. So, I mean, there's different ways of looking at this, isn't there?
Steve's classing YouTube as a trade. So, you know, when you do your tax return, right? Do you put as job YouTuber? Because none of them are employed by Google. None of them are employed by YouTube. They're all
okay. You would put,
nobody's asking them what to do. They're all choosing what to do.
It doesn't matter. That's self-employment. You would then put video creator. Okay, so if I just made videos and I had let's take, for example, Richard Hall or fucking David Icke or, you know, Richard D. Hall, all these conspiracy theorist people that have been around for donkey's years, and they used to just make videos originally on VHS, then DVDs. They were video creators, weren't they? So it doesn't matter what you put, as long as you're being honest. I say honest, don't mix the salt and the sugar, you know what I'm saying? And and pay your tax. So I do think it is legit. I do think it's a legitimate job. Am I going to go around to?
I disagree with this. Do you think YouTube is the most watched medium? I still think TV is.
No, it's
by a mile, because there's
not,
people who don't even know what YouTube is.
It's unfortunately
There's people who don't even know what YouTube is. Everyone in this world knows what a television is.
I'll take Dana
maybe
10 years ago, but the kids are watching YouTube, mate. It is I would say possibly
they watch TV. They watch TV.
A lot of people don't watch TV.
Yeah, but for everyone like you, Mike, who says they don't watch TV, there's tons of people who don't even know what YouTube is. Tons. And you see them all
without a television, but have a mobile phone in the third world and things like that, like, you know.
Yeah, but what, they're watching it on fucking made up Wi-Fi. If they're in the third world, they've not got fucking Wi-Fi to watch it on, have they?
If they got a phone, they have. I mean, how bad's India now with Wi-Fi? Before they're catching up with everything.
Nah, I'm not buying that. TV is still the most.
They've got
India, that's what I'm saying. They're like big
everywhere. Anyway. The third world are smashing it with the fibre optic.
New big sort of technical boom, aren't they? Really, because they're growing at such a substantial rate.
I refuse to agree that anyone in the UK scene who's making videos on YouTube in the gaming community is worth more than fucking $2,000 a month. No one. There's no one fucking good enough.
You know what, Dana? I from an opinion point of view, I actually agree with you. I wouldn't pay for it. I don't think they're worth $2,000 either. However, I sort of commend them for doing it. You know, I think to myself, well, if you can earn $2,000, I might not enjoy your content. I might heavily criticise it, but I kind of admire the hustle. Even the people, even the tarts on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Even them people, I think to myself, I kind of respect your grind. I think you're, basically a prostitute, but I kind of got to tip my hat a little bit to you, man. You're out there. As long as you're paying tax, fucking, I'm all for it. It's like Jordan, you know, where Katie Price. When Katie Price was the lick back in the day, and she was just tits out everywhere, that kind of scenario. I used to think to myself, you know what? You're a shrewd woman. You're making bank, baby. I got to respect it a little bit. Might not agree with it, but I've got a little bit of respect for it.
Oh,
she's like a sausage in a carrier bag, though, eh?
That's a fair point, actually. I agree with that.
There is very few, hardly any, who do it for a living that I would have an interest in watching, if I'm quite honest.
I agree.
I'd watch anyone who does it for a hobby, genuine people. Anyone who's pretending to be someone else and or a character can go fuck themselves for me. What would I say? What constitutes those who are doing it for money or those that are doing? Well, it's someone who's doing it for a hobby.
That's what we do. We're not trying to crack it. We're not trying to become TV presenters or nothing, are we, us lot? We're just doing it for a good crack and laugh, innit? You know. I mean, if people want to watch that, then for fair shout to them, like, you know.
These ones who class themselves as a community, but yet you fucking never see them anywhere. How many of you ever see Donny Markey? I see the Gebs as she waltzes past. But all these big time collectors, unless they're fucking paid to be at an event, they don't fucking turn up.
Oh, I agree.
Sorry, not big time collectors, big time YouTubers is different, because there's some very big fucking collectors who would dwarf these fucking professionals who just fucking turn up swanning around at fucking events that they're paid to be at. They don't fucking come to the ones and associate with the other fucking minions. And fuck them, I don't want them to.
I'll tell you what's worse, though, is when you get people on our level, you know, or maybe a bit higher. I mean, I'm right at the fucking pits. I admit that. I'm at the bottom of the battle shit. Agreed. And I'm quite happy there. You know what I mean? I'm at the bottom. I'm happy at the bottom of the sewer, just bobbing above water, just about. That's cool for me. But you got these people on, you know, who are sort of a couple of hundred subs or whatever, and they're desperately trying to be a big act. And, you know, you can see the desperation when they're trying to fucking do their videos, man. They're my favourite. Fucking hell, is this light keep flashing?
It looks all right from where we're sat.
No.
For me, the real show and tell with that sort of situation was when Dave Perry was. Dave Perry, who is a TV celebrity in our age range, isn't he? He is a legend, right? And Dave Perry was sat having a beer with us in the hotel afterwards, having a good crack with everyone. When he is a TV legend from Games Master back in the day, even his own shows and all that. And all of them lot were trying to rib him. And I tell you what, they're not fit to lick Dave's boots, are they? Do you know what I mean? Dave actually has been what they're trying to get, like, you know.
Dave's a normal bloke. You know, he was famous back in the 90s, but he's clearly kept himself grounded. That's why.
The thing is with Dave as well, a lot of these dickheads who pretend to be massive YouTubers, let's say they're 10,000-ish subs or 20,000 or whatever, they've got a very particular view on life. And someone like Dave, who might not be, who's sort of a 90s guy, might not be the most PC in the world, has a bit of a laugh and doesn't toe the line always, is seen as like too much of a rebel. It's now cool, or to be sort of hip in this sort of retrosphere, to be fucking to go along with what everybody believes in the mainstream, if you know what I'm saying. I don't want to get too deep into the conspiracy, but there's very little room for real, true, honest character. You know, everybody's got to think the same as everybody else, you know. Instead of someone saying, well, actually, I don't really agree with you there, mate. Everybody's just got to agree on this fucking particular boring, placid wavelength. And
yeah. Like you say, I mean, it used to be cool to have your own opinion, but now it seems like you can either have their opinion or your opinion is not right at all. You know, it's things have definitely changed, especially from like the 90s and things like that. Like, you know, like okay, everything wasn't so PC, but it was all tongue in cheek, was it? It was never meant to offend or harm anyone, was it? It was
just a proper 90s child.
Even if it was meant to offend, who cares? Aren't we allowed to offend? Well, fucking bollocks. It's you that takes offence. Offence is taken, it isn't given. Never forget that. Yeah. You know, like, why should
no matter what you say, you're always going to offend someone, aren't you?
Of course you are.
A proper 90s person, 80s kid, 90s grown up, noughties, whatever, wouldn't take offence to most stuff. It's only these fucking hyper offending millennials who fucking get scared of everything. You know, there's
sad
a lot that can offend me, to be honest.
But words can cut so deep with some people, and not even really offensive words and things, like, you know. But it's a society we live in nowadays, isn't it? It's a lot softer today, isn't it?
It is.
I think in society it's completely changed, and what used to be deemed as offensive is now shit. There is lights going off in here, man. The fuck.
Have you paid your fucking electric bill?
Motherfucker.
Your bulbs are
in the bloody dark. I'll be back in a minute.
You're fine.
The electricity
goes more talking about community and on about people, like a community is something that you engage in and not expect anything in return, which is what I've found with like nearly everyone who I've ever met to do with retro gaming. He's a decent.
To be honest, for me, like where events are concerned, an event I'll always attend and everything, is Revival. All the real people go to Revival, don't they? We're all, and all the people were sat in that room, weren't we? We were all sat in that room, and the people that don't know us are all in the other rooms and everything. But for real gamers and real community-driven event is Revival, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, it is. I got to see a little bit on the inside today. It's not today, last Revival, and I got to, you know, I get inside information which is just for me to know. But they appreciate us as the smaller, they call us the hardcore fucking YouTubers, the ones who are at every event. You know, I do videos promoting every event.
It's the small time YouTubers, but I'm quite happy with that. I'd rather be a small time YouTuber.
But, you know, I will happily promote all events equally, and I don't expect a fucking penny in return to do it. You know, I don't get no deals.
I think you went above and beyond with that last one as well, didn't you?
I just want revival, yeah, because I heard earlier in the week that Craig was ill.
Yeah,
and
which is a
I'm not
shame as well.
I'm not tech savvy, so I couldn't help set nothing up. But what I am is a bit thick in the head and it's strong in the arm, if you know what I mean. So I can lug them more. And to be honest, I did most, not me, but me and a few of the other lads, we did all the heavy carrying, moving the arcade cabs, moving the tables, the chairs and everything like that. And I'll always do that because I want that event to go as soon as possible. And I knew that they just needed some extra hands, and I was happy to do it. And it was nice to be part of the team rather than just being a trader for the change. And you got to see it and appreciate it a little bit more.
I will.
He bought
I will say
torch.
Here he is. I will say for me, like Revival's always been spot on, and Craig always takes the time out. And even when there was a revival that I didn't like, which is going back quite a few revivals ago now, Craig said, "No, tell me the truth. What was wrong with it and everything?" And then he explained what was going on in the background behind it. And ever since that one, which is about 5 or 6 revivals back now, they've always been brilliant. The thing with Craig, he listens, doesn't he? And he's one of us, isn't he? That's what it is. He's a gamer. He's a community person, like, you know. Are you with us, old school?
Yes, mate. Sorry, I can't find a bloody light bulb. So can you see me?
He's
yeah,
none
we
of
can
these,
see you over the screen. You're all right.
He's none of these bigger YouTubers rarely do interact. I've been at several events and they're in their own little clique. Now, the only reason they'd interact is if all of a sudden one of your channels got traction and they wanted you in their inner circle. I fucking guarantee that. That is fucking how it is. And I never want to be fucking a part of that. They can all go fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned. And I'd fucking tell them to the face because I don't give a fuck either.
To be honest, they don't even interact in their own comments because apparently it's cool not to interact with people in the comments, which I think is just...
Here's an interesting one. Let's fucking get off them. They've had too much of my airtime anyway. I think we'll be lucky if we get Donny in December. Stu reckons. How long do we reckon this is going on for, guys? Because I don't think we've heard the last of it in China yet.
12 weeks maximum.
You reckon max? See, I think in England we have a better chance of getting out of it quicker because I think the mistake the Spanish and the Italians did is shutting everything down. And what you've got now is a load of people who have never come into contact with a virus.
Yeah.
So they're all going to come out all in one go and then they could still get in contact with a virus. Whereas at least with us, we've tried to drip feed it to the NHS so that they can just keep coping. If you notice, still in Spain and Italy, they're still getting people in the hundreds, even though they locked down straight away. I mean, there's 37 Italian doctors died now.
I think whatever we go with, we got to all try and stick to it. I don't agree necessarily with the plan that they've gone for, but I respect that we've all got to try and do what they say to a certain degree. You know, otherwise it won't work.
I'd agree with you, Mike. There, I mean, there's so many conspiracy theories, and so many. Everyone's now pseudo.
Yeah, Joe thinks it's 5G. By the way, he thinks 5G's killing us all.
5G's the next thing. This is what I was worried about. Is when they weaponize it all because they might be weaponizing it now. We're indoors.
Apparently, right with 5G, if you wear a foil hat, you will be safe from me, 100%.
Or you'll amplify the frying procedure.
I was actually going to wear a foil hat last night, but we're running low on kitchen foil, so I had to wait till I've been to the Aldi trip.
Well, what was you saying, old school?
Is my mic on? Because I just keep getting
your
mic on. Have you two ever fucking read the bloody live stream decorum rules? Because you're very much lacking with your interrupting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I never know whether your fucking headset's working or not, or if your lighting's gone out.
Because whenever I say anything, some other cunt starts fucking speaking.
The floor is yours, Tim Foreman.
I've forgotten what the fuck I was talking about. I'm being pedantic.
You were talking about 5G, 100%.
You were agreeing with me for some reason. When I said about we've got to follow whatever procedure they say.
Well, I agree with that, Mike, only because everybody now is an expert because I've watched a few YouTube videos. I enjoy a conspiracy more than most, I can assure you of that. One in particular, which I won't go into. And some of them I completely believe. But with this, nobody really knows. When have we ever known the world to fucking shut down? There's got to be something in this. People are dying. Have a bit of, you know, and also imagine having the indignity to think, to say, oh, it's this and that and the next thing, and someone you know's bloody died, or someone's relatives died. We've got to take it seriously, man. I think if it was me, the one thing I will say is I'd have closed the borders as soon as we'd heard it from the Chinese. I'd have closed the borders and quarantined every single person coming in, right? Put them up in hotels or whatever it might be, certain part of where the airports are, Heathrow, up in Glasgow, wherever else, in the southwest, in the Midlands, and quarantined the bastard lot of them. If it took 3 months, if it took 6 months, we wouldn't have had to shut down the economy. That's my view. Yeah. But if that hasn't happened, so my point is, it hasn't happened. I'm getting angry about it because it fucks me off. But what I will say, it hasn't happened. So all we got to do is, I think, follow along with the mainstream approach and just take care of each other, man. And don't go out.
I think our biggest problem is relying on China telling you the truth when it broke out. You know, we know
they hide a lot. They hide a lot, don't they?
Yeah, and the biggest problem is I agree with closing the borders, stopping flights coming in, but we were probably already infected by then. And then as an island as well, we're just keeping it contained inside anyway. And I just think, you know what, if we've got it, we might as well give it the rest of the fucking world. Why should we just waste?
Isn't it like 2/3 of the world are now on lockdown or something, like, or 1/3 of the world?
Yeah, I believe so. You don't hear much coming out of Africa. I mean, I don't look, but are they having the same problems? That it just seems to be Europe, America, and China, mate. I know there's a bit in Japan as well, isn't there? They've had a little bit of lockdown.
Can you imagine how they're going to deal with this in Africa?
Jeez.
I don't think they fucking could they? I mean,
no, they couldn't. Although they did contain Ebola, but I mean, Africa's a big old place. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't bode well for them, and that's not me being.
Aren't they saying that some of the vaccine could possibly work with this as a cure? That's what I heard today.
That was yesterday. I think the health minister said about it. I think the health minister debunked it, saying they weren't sure and they weren't willing to test it. South America as well. There doesn't seem to be much coming out of South America either, where that's another place. If it comes to there, like Brazil, Argentina, they're all living on each other's asses, aren't they?
Yeah, Ecuador and things like that,
But you hear of nothing coming out of there, and you can't tell me there's not a single person from any of these affected countries gone to there, if that makes sense.
Well, China have taken over Africa. So if you look into geopolitics a bit, there's so many Chinese in Africa. So I'd be very surprised. But again, of course, a lot of African countries are dictatorships. Are we going to get the true information? But then again, you could sort of say that about the Chinese. But then again, it's hyper-capitalist. It goes into real deep geopolitics. And I've had to switch off and go, you know what, I'm going to kind of go with the mainstream view here, because there's so many opposing ideas. And again, like going back to the thing, if we'd just closed the borders at the beginning, like, say, Hungary did, okay, Viktor Orban, salute, it would have been a different scenario, okay?
I agree there, but what I'm trying to hint at, where social media seems to be massive, i.e. America, Europe, China and Japan, it seems to be spreading there, but you're not hearing much come out of other countries where there's not such a social media and news network.
Didn't old Bolden Bankrupt do something on the coronavirus, the Corona train?
I haven't seen that one, actually. He's good, he is, Mark. I like him.
It's quite a bit back. That was like about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He'd done the Corona Express or something.
I haven't seen that one, although I do like his channel. I think he's got balls of steel, that guy. He's going around Eastern Europe. He smashes it. You know, he can speak fluent Russian. What a dude! Great channel. If anyone wants to.
I haven't got a fucking clue who you pair on about.
It's brilliant.
It's just a good YouTube channel, isn't it?
He basically goes to all the poorest areas of Europe, doesn't he, on holiday, and just shows you what it's really like. You know, well we'd be seeing on the news.
Never been to Dudley.
Missile firing and stuff, and he's having a drink in some little derelict building with some old boys, isn't he? Like, you know, just having a great time, like, you know. It's like Chernobyl and stuff.
one of my best mates, this is anecdotal, but one of my best mates is from Mauritius, right? And he's got a few bob, to be honest with you. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying that, but he owns a hotel out in Mauritius. He might be. Actually. He is subscribed, but it's unlikely. If it's not about the villa, he ain't fucking interested, mate. It's a football.
Their season's over before the fucking coronavirus.
Oh yeah, and we're happy about that. Fucking hell, it's just as well, isn't it? But what he's saying in Mauritius, they've gone on full lockdown now in Mauritius. But there was British people in the hotel and who were leaving 2 days ago. 2 days ago. In his hotel, so it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Well, you know, what are our government doing? You know, why don't they just? I don't know. I can't understand. What's the problem is? Are they getting quarantined as soon as they get here? They're probably getting a text.
I've got a mate at the moment. He's gone back home to Spain, and as soon as he got to Spain, he's in quarantine now. And apparently, if he wants to come back to England, he will then be quarantined for another week or 2 weeks in his own flat when he comes back.
But who's going to police him, Mike?
Well, this is the thing in it, but that's supposedly what he's been told.
In India, they're not pissing about. They're running around with the police and the army or whatever the hell they are. Even the medical services are out there batting people. Get the fuck in. And that's what we need. We need an army.
It must be bad in India.
Well, they're accepting it. They're running. Look on Twitter. It's brilliant. And I'm all for it. I'm there going, fucking based India. Get involved.
I'm just thinking it must be bad because no fuckers rung me about my Virgin Media or my PPI this fucking week, so it must be fucking bad. No one's at the call centres. Anyway, moving on.
Televisions. These are people without TVs, mate, and they're fucking getting moved back indoors. Fucking stay. And by
none of us have been in accidents that none of us know anything about.
We've got too much freedom in this country, and actually, that's going to be our downfall with all this.
Oh, right now, we need fucking saying I can do what I want.
Exactly. Selfish.
Yeah, go outside. I don't mind. Right, these dickheads who crowd the fucking supermarket. Fucking giving themselves the virus. It's when they give it to some poor fucking innocent bystander who's the problem. That is the problem. Anyway, moving on from Corona, kind of. What I wanted to ask you two, because I know you both do a little bit of reselling. You've both noticed that the old buy rate's gone up since everyone's in lockdown. I'll hand over to Mike first, because I know you said you had a couple of sales today. What have you been noticing then differently?
Yeah, sales are just well, to be honest, I don't list enough as it is. And to be honest, I generally live in isolation, and I don't go out as often as I should do. But since all this, I have noticed I've been listing more. So obviously, by listing more, you're going to sell more, aren't you? But I will say that the interest in video games certainly is on the up. I would say, obviously, because everyone's going to be indoors with nothing to do, so everyone's looking to buy. I mean, you've even had friends saying, "Oh, have you got a PS3? I'll buy a PS3 off you." And I said, "Yeah, I've got one. I just have to dig it out, check it's working and everything." So even I was talking to some other resellers today on live chats, and they were even saying like DVDs and stuff, like Music Magpie and everything, running out of DVDs and CDs and stuff. So you can actually make some money off DVDs and CDs even at the moment. So, but yeah, I'm finding apparently Nintendo stuff's going very well. The Wii's are up and everything. And I've actually sold four PS3 games today for not great money, but not bad money.
I've not got a lot to say, but I will agree with Mike there. I've had mates who aren't really into gaming going, "Can you sort me something out where I can play a load of games on one system because I've got to fucking sit at home for 3 weeks?" So they're not even really into gaming, but they know I'm their go-to mate for sort of things. I mean, Pete's a bit wholesale generally, not just gaming. Has other stuff been selling other than just gaming, old school?
Mate, I'll tell you what, to give a little bit of background, maybe this time last week, I was shitting myself. It had never been so goddamn bad on eBay. I was like, oh my God, it just completely plateaued. I was like, shit. I actually thought if it carries on, I'm going to have to go back and I even inquired about going back into my old work, you know. I thought, shit. But over the past, I don't know, 5 days, it's gone fucking mental. I mean, I've sold all sorts of crap. I mean, today I've had, fuck me, how many? What? I've sold 2 things there. So since we've been live, I've sold 2 more things.
Oh, that's brilliant, man.
I've probably about maybe 10 items today. Now, I haven't got all that much. I've got a fair bit listed, but it's sort of 10 a day of rubbish. I say rubbish, I mean, it's good money.
Quality item goods, I think you're looking for there, mate.
It's just like everything from, I mean, okay, for example, what's she sold? I don't know, okay. I'll just
unique, fine sourced goods.
All right, so what we've got then in the past today, and I reckon there'll be more tonight, I'm looking at, I sold a Toy Story Rex, I sold a golf club, I sold a Ghetto Blaster, a Say Show one, I've sold a Prince LP, 1999, Dragon Quest 10, 2 Hello Kitty backpacks, a Porter Sound Yamaha fucking keyboard, Luigi's Mansion 2, Harvest Moon NTSC, fucking 2 ink cartridges, a Dawes Morrison's cassette hotel, a VHS video. Fucking hell, that's what I've sold today so far. Fucking crazy,
that's
man.
Going, that is. See, what it is people are sat
home. Friday, maybe, but not on a Thursday.
What it is people are sat indoors with fuck all else to do than go. I'm avoiding eBay at the moment.
And do you know what makes it even better? Do you know what makes it even better? Doesn't everyone get paid tomorrow?
Yeah, I think they do, man.
So it's going to be bigger sales again. Like, sorry to make a thing of a crisis, but
yeah, paid. I got paid today from my part-time job.
Right.
Who aren't paying me anything.
People get paid today and tomorrow, don't they? A lot of people get paid today and tomorrow. So
yeah, but I get paid a month, like I work, if you know what I mean. But my part-time job basically fucking told me I was too ill to come into work because of my underlying conditions. Pay me fuck all. So I've told them I might not come back. They can go fuck themselves. And I was meant to be going to do a job tomorrow, but I fucking spent all day driving around fucking Smethwick and fucking Bearwood to try and find some Asian builder that was open because they were the only ones who was left open, I had, and even they're shut now. So I couldn't get no plaster boards. So the boss has just said, you know what, we'll just do it when it blows over. So I'm definitely in lockdown for another 2 weeks, which doesn't bother me because, as you two know, I'm not fucking thick. I've kept some money back. Because being self-employed and I used to play football regular, I've allowed for if I broke my leg, I could sit at home for 2 months. So yeah. I've got that fund that I can fuck about with if I need to. But it means I'm just slowing down on buying stuff for the collection.
To be honest, if the government do what they're saying, they've got to be commended for what they're saying they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to do it and how they're going to sustain it, but they say they're going to pay 80% of people's wages of people that can't go work and everything, aren't they? Even self-employed.
The thing is what we've now got to accept is in the next fucking budget next year, there's probably going to be a big tax hike to try and get this back. We'll probably be looking at paying 25% tax on our earnings, I'd have thought. And we can't really moan at it. That is the bad thing. We can't really moan.
You say that, Dana, mate. But, you know, we've only just finished paying for fucking World War II, haven't we? That's been coming out of tax when you look into it, you know. So I don't know. I reckon I'll stretch it out. So
maybe that could free up some money then if we're not paying that back next year.
Well, there's always money can always be printed, can't it? But I know what you're saying. They'll use any excuse to hike up the taxes, won't they, for a bit?
100% I do, Stephen. But the only thing is I probably won't be asking for anything off the government. Sorry, Mike.
Why don't we tax the rich? That's a crazy idea.
I just think we are going to have to pay it back somehow because, you know, there's no way that they can just magically make money appear from somewhere and not get it back. Basically, we're all in debt to the government now. All the country,
I'm very, very. I barely sing the government's praises, if I'm honest. But if they do what they're saying they're going to do, then you know you got to doff your cap to them, haven't you?
Yeah, but the thing is, Mike, it's all got to get paid back. I mean, so all these loans. So what was it? So the mortgage. So they're going to give you the 3-month break on the mortgage. That's going to go back then, isn't it, onto your mortgage? So you're still going to have to
pay for 3 months longer than you meant to.
Well, I think what's going to happen is what sounds, from what I've seen, I might be wrong here. Correct me if I'm wrong if you got the actual facts, but from what I've heard, is it's just going to get added on. So let's say you got a 20-year mortgage, that 3-month gap that you haven't paid will just go onto that 20-year mortgage. So instead of say paying £500 a month or £600 a month, you'll be paying sort of £620 or £650 or £700, depending on what your mortgage is. So that's what that's my little bit of research. Now I could be wrong. I guess it all depends on your mortgage company as well, but it's something to consider, isn't it? It's a loan. My friend pay interest on the loan.
What my friend was concerned about, who actually rents his property from a rental firm, is if the people that own his property then get a 3 months tax, they don't have to pay tax. They don't have to pay their mortgage for 3 months, but guaranteed they won't filter it down to his end. So he'll still have to try and find that 3 months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
which is probably the people that need the break.
But the thing is what people need to understand is you can't just have free shit in life.
Oh, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, my mate's a single guy, and he paid £700 a month just to rent a property. And that's before bills, food, and everything. And luckily, he's got a good job. He works in security, and there's plenty of hours for him to do. But generally, as a normal single guy, you wouldn't be able to pay that.
But what the thing is the problem is people are going to be claiming shit that they don't really need to just because they're entitled.
A lot of people are going to be trying to rinse this, and a lot of them already have. They've even tried it with the company that he works for. They sort of give it, I've got a cough and a cold and I can't come back into work. So they're thinking that they can claim off the government. Now, what's going to bite them in the ass is a catch-22, is they won't get any money off the government for probably quite a few months because it'll take a long time to sort it all out. But now what they're going to say to him is, you can't come back to work because we can't risk you infecting the rest of the team.
Well,
so that's going to bite the guy in the ass,
pure dumbness on their part, though, isn't it?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely fantastic. That's karma.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying it's a dumb move by the guy who's saying he was ill when he wasn't.
Yeah. No, that's totally, that's what I'm agreeing. That's what I'm saying. The guy's an idiot for trying to do the system over, and at the end of the day, it's going to end up doing him over,
The trouble is there's too many fucking people like that in this country. That's why fucking working people
for nothing off of other people's backs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with that cunt who runs Weatherspoons either. He's caused utter chaos, and that wanker Mike Ashley who owns Sports Direct.
Did you see? I know it's not nothing to do with us, but GameStop in America.
Nah,
GameStop in America tried to say that they needed to stay open because they were an essential service.
And well, that's what Mike Ashley was doing with Sports Direct. He said he was selling exercise equipment,
weights equipment, and all that. Yeah. But it sort of backfired because everyone just went, "You don't give a shit about your staff."
Well, I hope people remember and they fucking stop buying their fucking Lonsdale tracksuits and stop going to Weathers. I'd rather pay an extra £1 a pint and go to my local pub when this all breaks over than the fucking cunt at Weatherspoons who wasn't going to pay all his staff. And now he is going to pay his staff, but he's not going to pay the beer suppliers. So either way, he's going to send some fucker at bankrupt, isn't he? What do you think, Pete? Well, I know you probably like the Weatherspoons guy who was a Brexiteer like myself.
Again, I've just got a nuanced view because I don't know. I do quite like Tim. What's his name? Tim Martin. Is it Tim Martin
Tim
from
Martin,
Weatherspoon?
Yeah.
Tim Martin. I think he's got his head screwed on. Okay, I liked him during the whole Brexit debate. I think he was one of very few big businesses that actually held the ground for the 17.5 million. Okay, now wherever you sit on Brexit. If you're a Ramona, whatever, or a Brexiteer, we had very few people there. But, I'm not saying he can't do any wrong. The truth of the matter is that for quite a while in the mainstream, people were giving it this idea about keep calm, carry on. Now, I didn't agree with that from from the off. I was saying weeks ago, shut the fucking border. Or everyone else I was talking to was going, nah, it's all right. Honestly, let's just crack on. Yeah, we'll go to work. It's not going to affect me. So everybody's fucking opinions changed overnight, hasn't it? Because motherfuckers are dying, which is disgusting. It's a shame. I think this Weatherspoons guy was on that side of the argument, and I think maybe he just wasn't given the correct information. Now you're saying that the media manipulated, whether or not it's true, I don't know, that he wasn't paying his staff, but now he is. So isn't that good enough? I mean, have we just got to keep dragging people through?
He 100% said he wasn't paying his staff, and I know staff who work for Weatherspoons and were being told they wasn't getting this month's wage. Now, because there was a massive outcry, you're talking 14. Was it 14 million or 1.4 million people trending boycott Weatherspoons on Twitter? He then backtracked for, hang on, this could be big damage to my fucking company. So he's now going to pay his staff, but he's not going to pay any of his suppliers until he's back to work.
The thing is, it's not him that is it? He'll get 80% of it back off the government.
What about Richard Branson, though? It's easy to fucking pinpoint the target on the Weatherspoons guy. What about Richard fucking Branson?
Well, what's going on with him? What's going on with Big Rich?
Apparently, he's gone down the side. I mean, and he's a super lefty, isn't he? Let's be fair. Although he's a hyper-capitalist.
The old them crew, isn't he? And the old one eye and all that.
Boils down to is they're fucking both millionaires who could afford to pay both people. Both groups of people.
All ended up in the like about 40 of them ended up black eyes, didn't they? Remember?
I think Richard Branson's considerably richer than old Tim Martin, but it's besides the point. But what I will say is that who knows? Do we trust big business at all? Are any of them any good? I mean, really, even the Body Shop who virtue signal, although having said that, they did close pretty sharpish, but they give it all the fucking biggin about being, super liberal. But when it comes to the crunch, it's all about the GDP, isn't it? And this is why I think, everybody's now an economics expert, aren't they? And what's right and what's wrong and business and fucking... the truth is, I don't really know. I look at it from both sides and try and maybe come up with who's the best out of a bad bunch. I'm not sure.
What do you think with Trump then? Because Trump's basically saying they're all going to be going back to work soon, isn't he?
I think I like Trump, and I just think he's massively delusional, and he's trying to have this, we're America, we're great, we can beat this thing, typical traditional American opinion. But I think he's fucking wrong.
Well, like, fuck yeah, America, man.
Yeah, America. It is America. Fuck yeah, we can beat anything. But what I'd say about big business,
shit on you.
is genuine people will never be successful as a big business person. Back in the day when I was a lad, Dad used to run his own plastering firm. He only went for a short while, and his biggest mistake was because he was a plasterer himself, is he would pay the blokes before he paid himself. And all that happened is one builder went bankrupt on him, and he paid all the blokes, and he fucking took a massive sting. And that's why he never set up again.
Tremendous for that, mate. I tell you what, without you guys, you got no what. Like, you need you guys. You always got to pay your guys first, because people go to work for a person goes to work to get paid. If you pay your guys, do you know what I mean? Then you'll always have them. They'll always come back for you and work for you and all that. Or they should do if they're decent guys, like,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why he never became successful at doing it, because he hadn't got that business mind. Whereas a business person would protect the company over their employees. If you know what I'm saying. Whereas the old man was thinking, I've got to pay the blokes. I've got to pay the blokes before he was paying himself. And that's why he never set up again. And it's why I've never had the interest of doing it. Because I'm just thinking I'd rather just look after myself than have to worry about other people's wages.
I've got mates myself. One of my mates, he got offered all the dry lining for every Asda in the UK, and he just really couldn't be bothered with it. And I was thinking, this could make you a millionaire, like, quite easily. But like you say, with yourself, you can manage yourself, or you and a couple of other guys, you and a labourer and maybe another plasterer or whatever, and that's not so bad. But when you've got like 20 or 30 guys going on, it becomes complicated, doesn't it? Like,
And what I will say is, a company like, say, he was doing it for Aldi, they would make millions of pounds just by being late paying him his bill. And I know that for a fact because
and that can take a guy under, like, you know. It was Asda he got offered. All the Asdas he got offered, basically.
And that's the trouble with big business is they joke and laugh that, oh, if we don't pay him this week and we'll pay him next, we can make X amount of millions on that interest of what's in our account.
This is the thing. Is what I was chatting to someone earlier, and like most people I know do live paycheck to paycheck, or you know, might have a bit of money to get through a little bit of hard times. Do you know what I mean? But can't go for months and months and months. And like you say, I mean, one of my very good friends recently, he's got an asbestos business, and a company lagged out paying him for like 3 or 4 months. Now that almost put him under. Like, you know, he literally went to the verge of going under. And eventually, I think he got about 80% of his money out of them in the end, and he just had to cut the rest. You know, he paid for all that job up front, and we all sort of said to him, "Look, you've got to be taking monthly money off of them rather than trying to do a like 6-month contract and then get the money. You've got to take.
Could we have opinion quick, and then we'll get back onto games for Darren.
Oh, fuck! You just woke me up, mate. Sorry, what was that?
Fuck off, you cunt.
That was really boring. But anyway, yeah, I'd agree with Darren. Let's talk about it. Nobody wants to hear all this. I mean, we could go on for days, couldn't we? And I'm the worst for it a lot of the time. But it's not the time at the minute, is it? I mean, who really knows? You know, I could moan about the Illuminati all day. Oops. But I'm not going to.
Old school, what are you playing at the moment then? What are you playing?
I bought Val Ferris.
Is it any good? I looked into buying that, but it's quite expensive at the moment.
Yeah, cried to tell you. Right, well, I tell you, man, it is proper wicked. It's a bloody great. It's a run and gun, like heavy metal kind of synthesized soundtrack. It's pretty balls hard. It's a bit. I think it's developed. The developer is Slain. And I never got too far in the Slain. I got that on the Switch, but this one, it's really cool. I also bought. This is the other day before we went on lockdown.
Did you get that in game? Did you pick that up in game?
Right, is that Roll Ferris? I've got a bloody wobble board somewhere. Yeah.
Go on.
Try me kangaroo down, sport. Try me kangaroo down.
You got sunrise.
I just saw that comment out the corner of my eyes, and I just fucking put it on the screen. Are you playing anything, Mike?
What's that?
Copy of Chase HQ. Are you playing that at all?
I've got about 8 copies, haven't I?
I hope you've got about 6 now. I hope you've sold some. Have you been playing anything?
I have actually sold one. I sold it for $24.99 actually. I paid bloody 40 quid for it originally, but since I bought that, since I bought that, like literally no Chase HQ on +3 discs ever came up. That one came up. I bought it for 40 quid. And then since then, there was ones for 20, 25. So I bought the better ones, obviously kept the best one for myself, and I put one up for 25. All these other ones that have turned up since have sort of knocked the market value of the one that I had down. But 25 back off something that was just sat on my shelf. You know, it's 25 quid back in my pocket to help us through these hard times, isn't it? Like, you know, so.
I've been playing Forza 6 on my Xbox One, and I've never played the Xbox One until this week. It's just fucking.
I'll tell you what, you want to play Forza 7, it's like playing real life, mate. It's crazy.
Well, I like Gran Turismo. That's always been my series, and I thought I'd give Forza a go, and it's all right. It's not bad.
Sorry, Forza Horizon 2. Forza Horizon 2. You're actually driving around in the UK.
Oh, what? There's all the main Grand Prix circuits are on Forza 6, so you got.
No, but this is actually in the UK streets, like and towns and stuff. So I remember Mark
Dudley around there.
I remember Mark Burnt Out Culture went to where the Flying Scotsman train goes through.
Yeah.
And he actually waited for the train on the track, and it actually came through on time and everything.
Fucking hell, Mark's sad, isn't he? Fucking hell. I hope I can get him on tomorrow. I'll mention that. But I'll play that. I've been playing Fortnite.
This video with it. I thought it was, you know, there's just a small detail, and they covered it. Like I thought it was brilliant. Like, you know,
that's Forza Horizon 4, apparently.
Okay, sorry, I do have it. Whichever one it is. Who gave us that? Who gave us that?
What Forza Horizon 4? It is Gernaldinho plays. Rob's pretty hot on his Xbox.
Right.
What do you want?
I was thinking if you wanted a cup of tea.
Nah, I'm all right. Got beer.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. Technical.
I'll have a cup of tea now, love.
I don't want fucking tea.
He wants an Irish coffee.
Fucking PewDiePie don't have to put up with this shit. I've been playing Fortnite. I've been playing that Modern Warfare Warzone as well. Graphically, it's probably the most stunning game I've ever played. It's free to download on your PS4. That's Call of Duty Warzone. It's
okay. Are you playing that online or have you bought it?
Online, it's free. It's free download.
Yeah, online it's free. I was going to say it's the first game they've ever done free. 120 players per game, isn't it?
150. It's graphically, I can't fault it, man. There's like a football stadium. It looks like you're in fucking Chernobyl. You're in some Eastern European block place.
It's supposed to be amazing. I couldn't. I was actually chatting to Cyber Snake J going back a couple of weeks ago, and I said, "Oh, is it true? It's free?" And he wasn't sure. I went and looked at it. It's like, yeah, it's free, the multiplayer, and it's just incredible that they're doing that for free. Like, you know, it's, really, really good.
Gameplay, I think it's shit though compared to Blackout, which was the other one. It's way too fiddly with the mechanics, and I think it's just an example where they've gone for graphically stunning, and then fucked with the gameplay.
Do you not think it's because we're getting old men, and the kids we're not as fast as the kids nowadays?
Nah, because fucking I'm pretty shit on Fortnite and Blackout and stuff like that. I just don't like this games mechanic. See, because with these sort of games, you rely a lot on sound on your headset to hear footsteps and stuff, and it just doesn't seem quite right. You know, like I get sneaked up on a lot, whereas in other games with the same headset, that doesn't happen as much. So I don't know. There must be something wrong in mechanics.
I've been playing since I bought me my new IPS V2 screen GBA. I've been playing Double Dragon Advance, which is like the.
I watched someone play that. Double Dragon Advance.
It is fantastic. I completed it as well. I completed it, and I've also been playing Wolfenstein 3D on the GBA as well. So
I'm just waiting for Old School and see if he sees the comment on the screen.
Yeah, I read that earlier, mate. Yeah, I'm just trying to find a cool sound.
Can you play the Jaws theme on that fucking organ of yours?
I'm going to go to the toilet again in a minute.
I'd have to look at the music notes. I've got a very poor muscle memory, to be honest with you, but probably, yeah, not very well. And about half speed.
Do you play any first-person shooters at all, Pete? You're much into the more 8-bit, 16-bit sort of games, aren't you?
I've got to be honest with you, mate. You know the new Doom? I'm very nearly bought when I was looking at it for about bloody 10 minutes thinking, God, is this going to be okay? But they brought out, I don't know, some sort of Doom collection. And I love the original 3. But I'm very particular. I like a fixed camera position, you see. So as soon as...
You don't like this fucking moving around shit?
I don't like having to do too much, and I've got to be honest with you. You know, like I went directly from kind of the 16-bit straight to PC. So all that 32-bit shit, when everyone was into PlayStation, I was into PC, and I was kind of playing stuff like maybe the original Grand Theft Auto and whatever. But I was also playing quite a lot of RPGs and point and clicks and just other random shit, really. And the first-person shooters I did enjoy were like the original Doom with the fixed position camera. Now, you know, like when James Bond GoldenEye came out on the N64, I just found it super awkward to control. I was like, fuck this shit. I remember going to my mate's house and like he said he's a massive James Bond fan. You got to play it. It's amazing. I just could never get to grips with the controls. And I did buy the new Doom or the latest Doom. I put it in. And after I couldn't even get past the first section because you're looking everywhere.
It's like that three-dimensional movement that you don't like.
I don't like. I can understand on one, like on rails, if you like. But I can understand if I was wearing a VR headset. Yes, sorry, on one play. I could, if you're playing it in VR, it would be different, I guess. Right? I could understand that. I've played Oculus Rift. Next Door Neighbours got it, and it's fucking great. You know, the shorter games are really cool. And there's one where you're playing like tennis and shit. But yeah, I'm an old school gamer. Like even my PS4 stuff, it's got to be 2D. Like I'm playing Trine at the minute. You know, I'm playing Crash Bandicoot. I'm playing. I mean, I do. Having said that, I did play. I did enjoy Mario Odyssey. I loved Mario Odyssey. I clocked that. I thought it was beautiful. So Mario have always sort of hit it, didn't he? They've always hit it with the platformer games. I'm an old school gamer, you know, an old school aesthetic at least. And I find it hard, man, to cross over. I mean, I'm only 39, so I'm not even that old, man. But I just never quite could get to grips with it. I like my RPG.
Not the latest Doom, but the Doom before that came out on the PS4. I started to play that, which is a great game. You can pick it up for about $5 if you look around. And I started playing. I'm saying I was the same as old school. I couldn't get anywhere. But you have to adapt the way you play. You literally cannot stand still and shoot something. I mean, I used to know a guy who used to play Doom on in a league and stuff, like the original Doom on PC now. And that was one he always said to me is like, you never run in straight lines or anything. You always sort of run in zigzags and everything, so nothing can sort of target you and everything. And it's sort of an adaptation from that. So you can never sort of stand and take your aim. You sort of got to run round and shoot as you're running round and everything. And once you start doing that, you'll actually find you start getting somewhere. That's what I found with it, is I actually started getting somewhere. But I considered buying that.
First-person shooters, though, man. If you stand still and fire, which is your natural thing to do, you end up losing more gun battles than you win. You have to become a hard target to hit while being able to. What I'm
saying is I know for myself, and I expect for old school as well, we don't generally play online. We'll generally go through the one-player missions. And you could generally, as like, you know, Call of Duties and things, get away with that. But the way these new games are set, you have to play like a multiplayer online, you know? Because that's why I don't play multiplayer online, because I find that the youth of today is just so much quicker than what we are. I love online first-person shooters. I've been playing them since PS2. I used to play a game called SOCOM. And I've just always been used to it. I like not playing against artificial intelligence. I find playing against the computer piss easy. I want something that's not got a rhythm, if you know what I mean, or set like movement. I mean, I don't know if you know, like when games went from PS3 to PS4, the AI was completely new. So, like, whereas you'd have a set pattern on PS4, you could go and do this rhythm and this way, it would work. On the PS4, the AI was a lot better. So it's never going to be the AI of a person, is it? Like, you know.
No, that's what I mean. Like unpredictable movements. That's why I like first-person shooters. You know.
But I mean,
I don't like RPGs. I don't like fucking point and click. They're not my kind of games.
I nearly bought the new Doom, but I thought I haven't even really scraped the surface on the old one, and that's a $5 now. So what's the point of being going to pay 36 quid for the new one? And by the time I get around to playing it, it's going to be a $5. So I may as well just wait until it goes down in price and then buy it then. And complete the old one, you know. And I
don't know about YouTube, but I don't aim on release is worth it now. I really don't.
No. Not really.
How about you?
The only thing with the Switch games is the Switch games just seem to hold their price.
What do you reckon, Pete? Games on release?
If it's a real big title, I bought Zelda on release. I bought fucking loads on the Switch on release, but it's got to be something that's up my street, you know. I quite liked Breath of the Wild, but I did get stuck and I fucked it off in the end. I thought I got maybe halfway through, and I don't have the best patience in the world, because to me, gaming, I'm not a big. Yeah, but I can sit with a piece of music for days long, and keep trying until I get somewhere right. Or I can sit with certain things, but to me, gaming is a pastime, right? I'm not a hardcore. I have been a hardcore gamer, but more kind of say completing Castlevania 4 or stuff like that. Or it's got to me, it's entertainment, and if it's not enjoyable, and I'm finding this too much of a fucking challenge, and I'm not enjoying the challenge, I'd rather maybe try and learn a new song on the guitar. I kind of find time is precious. You know, I'd rather lie in bed than fucking after. Sometimes I find it a struggle playing games. I think, fuck this shit. Why am I taxing
You have
my
a
brain?
short attention span. That's what I think.
See, for me,
I do with certain things, but I don't with an RPG. So give me an RPG because I feel like I'm exploring something. I just get a different feeling off it. But I know what you're saying. It could appear that I've got a short attention span.
See, I think that's where you could get some really high views on your channel. For me, when I was watching you play, and it is a fucking ridiculously hard scheme to try and get your head around, and to think you've been playing games the same as me for like 30 years, and here comes this new game and you can't get your fucking head around it. But the video you done on Red Dead Redemption 2, I was just in stitches. I thought it was brilliant.
Again, it wasn't enjoyable, Mike. It was just fucking frustrating.
I know, but that was what was brilliant about you.
Yeah, sure. And maybe I'll do that in the future. You know, I did have a little go at live streaming on Twitch. You know, and I just found these fucking games really bloody annoying. But I'm loving not Symphony of the Night, Bloodstained. Like Bloodstained, I haven't finished it yet, but I've got quite far. I'm going to stick it in. Can give it a few hours, enjoy it, feel like I'm getting somewhere, even though you're having to go over old ground. I just guess I'm old school in the sense of I love the updated graphics, I love the scenery, I like the gameplay, but it's got to look like a game. I don't want to feel like it'd be different if we were going out there and it was kind of proper virtual reality shooting motherfuckers, and you had like a proper, you know, it'd be different then. But for me, in a control pad, it doesn't quite. You're not quite fully immersed.
I'll tell you what I was watching before we done this, before we went on this live stream, which is Half-Life Alyx, is it called? And it's basically, you know, they made Half-Life 2 about 6 years ago, 10 years ago, or whatever it is, and everyone's been waiting for Half-Life 3. But they've done this thing called Half-Life Alyx, and it's all in virtual reality. Right. And apparently the interaction with the world is absolutely brilliant. You can pick stuff up and throw it, and you know, but the graphics have really sort of gone for the realism and everything. It's almost like the virtual reality, but the next stage on. Yeah, and it looks absolutely fantastic. If you have a look at that, it's really, really interesting. What's that?
I'm prepared to give anything a chance. As long
this
as
looks like it's worth getting a £3,000 PC rig to get.
I can imagine, actually, because I've enjoyed Oculus Rift, and that was a couple of years ago, and I was pretty blown away then. And you know, I mean, the PlayStation doesn't compete, although some of the games are really cool. Like
this is pushing the boundaries right up to the modern day now.
I can imagine.
You know, and you know the guys who own Steam, basically, Valve. They're basically pushing the technology as much as they can. I mean, I think they've been making this thing for like 3, 4, 5 years, and they've now released it, like, you know, but you'd probably need a £3,000 or £4,000 rig to play it, like, you know.
Well, that's not going to happen, is it?
Dylan says, "Isn't that Second Life?" I don't know. I'm not into PC gaming. I'll be honest. My PSVR is called
Half-Life Alyx.
Half-Life Alyx. I have no clue.
Oh, it looks amazing. It looks unreal, mate. It looks really, really good.
I think I have heard of that Second Life. I think I watched a fucking documentary on Netflix about it, where people who had really shit real lives went on there and had a better life or something. Or it might have been an episode of fucking
Sounds
CSI.
Like Ready Player One, doesn't it? Sounds like Ready. That's a great film, like Ready Player One. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. Didn't I give you a copy of that book, Pete, for Ready Player One? Was that?
Yeah, I've still got the book. I'm actually going to get round to reading it, Dana.
You got plenty of fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to put down the old conspiracy theories and the other things I read, and maybe read a bit of light entertainment for a change. But you know, I found that there's so much other things to do, isn't there? And sometimes I get carried away with things. It could be a game. Or it could be, you know, I might get into, I don't know. I read the Dalai Lama's Guide to Happiness, The Art of Happiness. No. That's right. You know, nice. And I'm reading Jordan Peterson, 12 Ways to Live, I think it's called. Just crazy shit. You know, you get immersed in certain things. And I'd like to be able to just have some light entertainment. The lightest entertainment I had recently was watching Conan the Barbarian, right? Now fantastic. That is what a fucking great movie, man. And the soundtrack is godly. Conan
I've been watching some
Barbarian.
VHS this week. Not VHSs, of DVDs. And you'll probably like these, Pete. Friday. You ever seen that?
Yeah, hilarious. I love it, man.
The fucking dad, isn't he? And then fucking next.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And all we keep saying now is the lines that the old man says in it, man. We won't go in the bathroom for around 45 minutes.
Yeah. Both
I watched
are very
this
good.
shit. The new Predator.
Oh,
Fucking
no.
hell,
I still wouldn't even give it the time of day.
I paid 50p for this from the booter about like a month after it come out, so I should have fucking known really how shit it was. But I was trying to. That's it. To say the Netflix lost one. They're a film on Netflix called The Platform. Oh, now I'm losing everyone again.
But
It's your
Pete?
connection. It's your connection, I think, Dane. I think.
Was it? It must be stuttering. Yeah. I just lost you two. I lost a few viewers as well, probably because we're talking shit now. But a film called The Platform on Netflix. It's basically they go in. You can volunteer to go in this prison sort of section, but some inmates are in there for punishment as well. And there's only 2 people per floor, and there's so many levels. And each day your meal drops down from it's a big banquet, and it's already been on the level above. Well, every level above you, and you're hoping that they've left you enough food to eat. And when you go down on the lower levels, you don't get fuck all. I think it's kind of supposed to reflect society or some sort of. You'll fucking like it, Pete. Just watch it.
Okay, The Platform. That you've sold me on that, Mike. Sorry, Dana. I was looking at Mike's arse then, thinking, oh hello.
I'm looking at Mike's arse. You'll like that. It was. I think it was originally a French film.
Looking at my arse.
But they've.
What's it say? Conan.
What's it called? His platform.
The Platform sounds great, Dana. I like the sound of that.
You will.
The Cube was a great movie, Steve.
Oh, I was going to say The Cube because Fluffy Game was watching recently.
Good film.
Great
that is
film.
A good movie. Yeah, if you've not seen The Cube. No, Dana, thanks for that recommendation. I think I will enjoy that.
Mate, I watched it twice because sometimes with Netflix I'll put it on just as background noise, and I was like half watching it, and then I watched it again the next day. I thought I need to sit down and watch this film properly, and it was really good.
I'll tell you what I did watch. I'll tell you what I did watch, and Pete said he enjoyed it, and I really did enjoy it as well. Was the new Joker film? I thought that was really, really good.
I saw that at the cinema.
What's that? What's that, Dave?
Sega Zombies, what's it called? Comment. Anyway, we've got 3 minutes left. I'm looking to wrap it up on the 2-hour mark just because I want to go and have me some tea because I've not had any tea yet. Is there any message you would like to send to the audience and to future guests on this show? Pete first.
Nothing really. Fucking just.
You're not even going to say, Stave, wash your hands, you dirty bastard.
You just stole my lines. You just stole me fucking lines.
Dylan
it real,
that is one of my favourite films. John Carpenter is my favourite director.
What film is that?
Is one of my favourite films.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Rowdy Piper.
Get that.
In fact, I think I've got it on DVD. But yeah, it's a brilliant film.
I've been looking at Steel Tim, but it's not as cheap as I want it to be at the moment.
No, John Carpenter's a great director as well. Halloween is my favourite film of all time, but They Live is a close second. I have got the new one. Again, I've not
Old
really
School
got
didn't
into
really rate it, did you?
I don't know. It's a film I've only watched as background noise, and someone who loves the Halloween franchise, I think it says a lot for the film. I can't get into it. So anyway, Pete, your final message to everyone now. I've maybe a little bit more time.
Thanks for watching. You know, take heed of the advice. Stay indoors if you can, and look after the older people. And I mean that sincerely. That's it.
Mike, anything to say to our viewers before we go?
Yeah, stay safe, wash your hands, and like you say, keep the elderly safe. Keep away from them if you don't need to go near them. Help them out if you can. Knock the door, drop their tea off, and run away.
And I'll just add, wash your hands, be clean, be healthy, stay safe. And to quote Burnt Out Culture, long live the retro.